Well, this is awkward. So between the time that I first announced this Q&A and by the time that I actually started to work on it, I changed my username. So this will be the first and last time that I'll ever do a Q&A under my previous moniker. Also, be prepared to give me a big fat L because for whatever reason, half of the time, I cannot pronounce any words that start with the letter L, they just sound like W's. So I'm gonna sound like an idiot half of the time, alright? Alright, let's get started. Are CDs actually endangered? At this rate, yes. I think they're in this position as far as digital media goes. Since more people are turning towards music streaming services and digital distribution, CDs are starting to become nothing more than a novelty. I know I'm a hypocrite since I prefer digital downloads because customer ownership rocks! And I can listen to it over and over again without depending on an internet connection. But yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen to them. How'd you come up with the name Endangered CDs? Well, I wasn't the first one to do so, but I picked this one up from a list of funny names and phrases that I wrote down a year before I made the change to it. Yes or no? Maybe. What are your initial plans for 2020? Man, I don't really know. I at least want to keep drawing more digital illustrations. I love drawing stuff. I just wanted to improve my style a bit further like I have been. Yes, hello! I was wondering if you could play that song again. How does that one go? Beep boop bop boo boo bop? I'm really wondering, have you heard of Trumpet Boy memes? And if so, do you like them? Huh. I have no idea where I've heard about them. They look nice though. What are your plans for the future? I really want to start an indie game dev project, even on my own if that's what it takes. I have a game concept that I could get started on in the next year or so, but the only hurdles I need to get over are coding and music composition. I'd hate to have to tackle both of those tasks on my own, but if I'm able to hire somebody, that could work too. I'll figure that out later, and I'm not sure when that's actually going to start happening. Are you planning to do any more Trumpet Boy videos throughout 2020? I hate to disappoint you all, but no. I absolutely appreciate the support that I've gotten from making these memes, but I don't have any plans to make any new ones. I'm sorry. Why did you stop making Trumpet Boy videos? As soon as I realized that I was making those videos just to uphold a reputation, instead of just making them because I thought it would be fun, that was when I stopped making Trumpet Boy videos. After that Spider-Verse video, I tried to make 2 or 3 new Trumpet Boy videos, and I never found the will, the time, or the value in finishing any of them. I also didn't want to only be known for making Trumpet Boy memes, because upholding a reputation eventually got boring too, so come on, I'm not a one-trick pony. What's your favorite game? That's usually not an easy question to answer, because my favorites tend to change. But the few games that I go back to after extended periods of time are Nuclear Throne, Assault Android Cactus, and Splatoon 2. I guess you could say that I still enjoy them. But my current favorite is Hades, despite the fact that at the time of posting this video, it's currently in early access. Do you like making content that people want, or do you want to keep making content that you want to make? I found that it's a lot more genuine and fun to make content that I'd want to make. I also tend to really like it more, even long after its completion. Does it take multiple people to make Trumpet Boy videos? Nope! My Trumpet Boy videos were all done by me, so I hope you understand how exhausting it is to make them. How do you make your videos? I presume you may be talking about my Trumpet Boy videos, probably because that's all I'm known for on YouTube. So, buckle up, bucko! I'm gonna give you something better than the short answer. Okay. First, you need Photoshop, a screen recorder, and a video editor. In theory, any screen recorder and video editor will do. But because I like to record my screen at 60 frames per second, I use Morella's Action on my Windows desktop. And since I like to use professional video editing software that has chroma keying, I use Final Cut Pro on my MacBook Air. You can draw your character assets or assemble them as a Photoshop mess. How you make your character assets is completely up to you. When they're done, merge together any layers that make up your characters and save that as a PSD copy to use in your performance. Now, when I record my Trumpet Boy videos in Photoshop, it looks like this, or this. Since programs like Final Cut Pro and Vegas have chroma keying effects, I like to record each character individually while listening to the song that I plan to use. I would also recommend increasing your cursor speed or DPS on your mouse settings too. If you want your video to look as smooth as butter in 60 FPS, then pay attention to your zoom level in Photoshop. When you're using the transformation tools, there's a threshold of when it can run at 60 frames per second and when it cannot. What I have found is that if your PSD file is within a 16:9 ratio, and you're running Photoshop on a 1080p screen, then the maximum zoom level that Photoshop can record is 30%. Results may vary based on your computer's hardware. Also, I have no idea if this is the case with Photoshop CC, but I'm pretty sure it's more or less the same. As for the performance itself, this is where you can get crazy. It can prove to be a difficult task if you want your characters to be perfectly in sync with the music, so I would record multiple takes and keep the ones that you like the most. Let yourself have some options between multiple good takes when you edit your videos together. After that's done, it's nothing but post-production from here on out. This is where I apply the character synchronization, chroma keying, camera tracking, special effects, everything. Oh, and as long as you keep the music playing in your recordings, you can sync up your clips by looking at the audio waveforms, or by using a clip syncing tool if possible. Final Cut Pro has the ability to sync clips by audio, which is so nice. I don't think that's a feature that Vegas has, as far as I'm aware. And that's about it. That's the entire gist. What are your thoughts on modern music? I generally don't care about most music that came out within the past decade, especially since some of the most popular music has either been rap, pop, hip-hop, and all of that party music that came out at the beginning of the 2010s. I don't know, most of it just isn't for me. There are exceptions, such as Sunflower by Post Malone and Swag Lee, MGMT, Star-Crossed Losers by the Fratellis, No Roots by Alice Merton, and so much more that I could just go on and on about as far as mainstream music goes. What caused you to make content? P.S. I love it anyway. Oh, thank you. Whoa, this is awfully vague. I don't know if you mean my videos or my artwork, so I'll just answer this question on both fronts. What urged me to make digital art was how I really wanted to draw on a computer with something like a traditional Wacom tablet. I started with drawing things that I really liked before I took up digital art, such as Garfield, Toy Story, and Kirby. As long as my channel is still up, you can see that I tried to regularly post speed drawing videos, which included all of those images. What urged me to make videos was mostly because of YouTube. They're really old, so I don't think I'm going to show them to you at all. What urged me to make the Trumpet Boy videos was how I had enough experience to merge my digital art skills and my video editing skills, and I guess it worked out. Oh, for a dumb meme. How long does it take to make and process a single video? For any other video that I made before, it varies. As for any of the Trumpet Boy videos, those vary too, but I found it to be about 10 to 15 hours on average. Can you name 3 video game soundtracks that immediately come to your head and try to sell them to someone who's never heard of them before? I'd probably have to convince my friends to listen to the soundtracks for Assault Android Cactus, Baba Is You, and Pyre! What is your favorite Kirbo character? Did you mean characters from the Kirby franchise, or the parody versions of those same characters by Terminal Montage? Whatever. I still like Kirby regardless. Favorite artists and biggest inspirations. I have way too many visual artists that I can list as my favorites, but a lot of them include my friends, and I talk about this all day, so I'll just drop their usernames on the screen or something. As for biggest inspirations, a lot of them do include my favorite artists, so I think I'll just highlight them. But beyond those artists, I'm generally really inspired by any indie game dev that has worked on and or completed a game mostly by themselves or with a very small team. This includes Ian Campbell, Witchbeam, Hempui, Vlambeer, Taxidermy, and Supergiant Games. I am aware that flying solo as an indie game dev could probably be a bad idea, but I still want to try it anyway, and these devs are a testament to that desire. I don't know, I think they're amazing at what they do. Tea or coffee? Neither of them! Although, I guess I could say tea, because every once in a while I get this drink from Starbucks that used to be called the medicine ball. It's essentially just hot lemonade with tea packets, but it's really tasty. I don't know, just how are you doing in general? I don't have a question. Oh, but that is a question! I've been feeling terrible a few months ago, but now I think I'm feeling alright. Thank you for asking. What's the hardest drawing you've made? There were some fanzine pieces that I made that were arguably tougher to execute, especially since a few of them involved some environmental perspective. But I remember this illustration, based on the salt android cactus, to be particularly complex. I had way too many characters within the same image, like goddamn. This took me 15 hours, like jeez. Who inspired you to make a YouTube channel? This must have happened a long time ago. I completely forgotten who inspired me to make a YouTube channel. Sorry. Patreon? I have a Patreon account, I just don't think I have it formally set up yet. What YouTube channels do you think deserve more attention? Ooh, I'm gonna pick a few channels that I'm following that have less subscribers than me. So, in that case, go follow Game Brass or Michelle Heafy. Mostly because there's not a lot of video game covers that are done with purely brass or acapella. I'm also gonna give a shout out to Octowing Hacker because she's an amazing voice actor and singer. And lastly, even though I'm not always on her streams, go follow Magiku Maggie VA if you want to see her shout and rage at her friends while playing video games. Oh, and she's also a good voice actor. Will you be making animation soon, like frame by frame? I have very little experience in animation right now, but the video games that I want to make are with 2D assets, so that may happen someday in the future. Out of all your Trumpet Boy videos, which one are you the most proud of? It's a tie between the King K. Rool Brass Band and the Spider-Verse Underground Band. I worked really hard on them, and I'm glad it paid off as a result. Why did you do this Q&A? I don't know, I thought it sounded like fun. Also, I watched Octowing Hacker's Q&A video, and I was like, no. Who's the best cat? Garfield, Mao Mao, Felix, or Tom from Tom and Jerry? I'm gonna say Tom because of his determination. Who's your favorite Donkey Kong character? DK? DK. Okay. What's your opinion on waking up at 6:51 a.m.? Nope, I am not a morning person. Favorite instrument? Guitars! Waffles or pancakes? Waffles are legally superior. I don't make the rules. What do you mean in Splatoon? Dually squelchers, aw yeah! What's your favorite thing about Splatoon? I like how this is a game that caters to a larger audience that's also into shooting games, without it being in a gritty, realistic setting. I also like this game's approach to aiming, since it uses gyrometers on top of a strictly controller-based control scheme. I also like the characters and music, the fan artwork that comes out of it. Hell, I don't just like all of that stuff, I love it! What is your favorite Ice Age sequel? I only remember seeing the first 3 films in the series, so I'm gonna have to pick Ice Age: The Meltdown. What are your top 3 favorite games of the year? Baba Is You, Super Mario Maker 2, and Untitled Goose Game. What is your favorite or least favorite food to eat or cook? Also, why do you sound like JonTron? One of my favorite foods is fried chicken, while one of my least favorite foods is rice. And I don't know, man, why do people think that I sound like JonTron? We don't sound that alike. Have you ever made a project, but rejected it later in the end? When it comes to my videos, I guess the scrapped, like, Trumpet Boy videos that I try to work on kind of counts. But as for the ones that I finished, it depends on which one you ask me. I'd say out of the memes that I've made, I've come to not really enjoy the Kirby videos based on a few technical errors. But when it comes to my artwork, oh man, this happens all the time. As soon as my digital art style adapts, any art piece that I've made over a year before that style change is practically dead to me. Don't get me wrong, looking at illustrations that you have made in the past is fun and all, but they're not representative of my current style.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
That's an excellent question, Kaz. Where will you be within the next 5 years? I just want to have a job that I'm excited to work for. Every job I've had for the past 10 years were all meant to help me get by in life, and none of them were fun every day. Nearly every job I've had thus far has been in the food service industry, so you could probably see why it sucks to work in a restaurant. But this is why I want to try indie game development after I graduate. If not that, then I hope I'm better off in the future than I am now. Do you like epic Fortnite? Fork knife. Despite how goofy this question is, I've gotten hooked on Fortnite for a good few weeks because I know a few friends that played it a lot, so thank you so much, friends. What's been the best thing of the 2010s? What are you excited for in the 2020s? There's many things that happened within the past 10 years and I have no time to share it all, but I do think that I'm so glad to have started taking up digital illustration seriously in 2014. Just by starting to draw digital artwork regularly and consistently, while steadily improving upon my skills and enjoying it all the way, has led me to so many things that I'm really thankful for having. I met a lot of amazing people online, I got to learn more about computer hardware, and most importantly, I got to find some of the most amazing friends across the internet, artist or not. And I'm really thankful for that. I also love my friends a lot, thank you so much. I don't know what to expect in the 2020s, but I do know that if I stay on track, I will graduate from college in a little over a year. This means that I could finally try some independent projects with the knowledge that I've gathered from school. So that could either be really exciting or really confusing to sort through. And that's about it. That's all the questions that I have time to stuff into a video this long. And I don't know if I'll hold another Q&A in the future, but I don't know. I'll think about it. But yeah, once again, thank you all for watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful 2020. All right, take care, everybody.